Alright, y'all. Welcome back to For Nostalgic Reactions. Oh, snap. Came up with a new name. Came up with a new name for this part of the channel. But, I basically found this, I was like scrolling through YouTube and stuff like that. And I found this channel called Non-Stop Sports. And I watched a couple of their videos and stuff like that. And the ones I saw were basically, they posted a video about like the, Jamarcus Russell being like the biggest bust in I was gonna say NBA in NFL history. I saw the rise and fall. They did the rise and fall of Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, and I started scrolling through like their channel and stuff like that, and like they have a lot of interesting topics. So I'm here to react to some of them. So this one is the NFL's biggest one-year wonders, and they got my man RG3 on here. Oh man, quick story about RG3 real quick. He got drafted in what 2012. I thought that he was gonna be better than Andrew Luck. Everybody was so hyped about Andrew Luck and this, that, and the other. I just thought that at the time Washington was a better team, and I thought that, you know, like RG3 ended up winning Rookie of the Year, and I was like, yo, like he's a dual threat quarterback, and like they drafted Alfred Morris, they had Santana Moss, they had Pierre Garçon, they had a pretty good team. The Colts at the time, they were just coming off of like Peyton Manning leaving. Like that year, the year before, they went like 2-14. So I just thought that like overall, I thought it was going to take the Colts a little bit longer to get better than what the Washington Redskins at the time would have been. But his injuries took this man out, and it's just wild, man. I'm curious to see what they're going to say about this, but let's get into it.
With an average career length of 3.3 years, some NFL players last for over a decade
snap,
in the
Peyton
league,
Hill.
while others shine brightly for a short time and then fizzle out soon after. Here are 10 players who lit up the league, but soon faded away as some of the NFL's greatest one-year wonders of all time. Peyton Hillis, 2010. The Denver Broncos intended to play Hillis, a 7th-round pick, at fullback, but injuries gave him a starting opportunity at running back. Hillis ran for an impressive 5 yards per carry as a rookie before a hamstring tear ended his season. However, a coaching change in Denver led to just 17 touches in 2009, and Hillis was
I didn't even know he was on
the
Denver.
Browns for quarterback Brady Quinn. When starter Jerome Harrison suffered an injury, it became Hillis's time to shine. In his Browns starting debut, Hillis ran for 144 yards against a strong Ravens defense and followed it up with another 100-yard effort the next week against the Bengals. Hillis maintained course over the rest of the season, finishing with 1,177 yards.
I must not have been paying attention to the NFL at this time, or at least I definitely wasn't paying attention to the Browns. But like, I just remember this man. Only reason why I even know who this man is because he was on the cover of Madden. And I was like, I remember, what was that, Madden, 12 or 10 or something? I forget what Madden that was. But, like, this man was on the cover, and I'm like, who and why is a Browns running back on the cover of Madden? And, I mean, I guess he was turning to the league, but, like, they weren't doing nothing. So, it's like, I don't know, that was always, like, confusing to me. But, like, for a while, you know, like, if you, like, get Madden or something like that, they usually, like, overrate the cover athlete. I was like, all right, I'm about to start playing with the Browns. And I definitely was snapping with this man. And I low-key became a fan that year. I was like, oh, snap, this man Peyton Hillis is a problem. But like they said, one year wonder. Like, I guess after this year, like, you never heard about this man again. I think he went to the He went to either the Dolphins or the Jags. They're going to say it in here, but how far they fall.
11 touchdowns on the ground and 61 catches for 447 yards. Hillis's sudden explosion quickly made him a fan favorite. When EA Sports put the
12.
cover
Okay, so I was
star of
right.
Madden 12 up to a fan vote, the stars aligned for Hillis. He beat out Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers before defeating Michael Vick to become the most improbable Madden cover star of all time. Unfortunately for Hillis, his peak didn't last long. Contract disputes with the Browns and sitting out of a game with strep throat cost him favor with his teammates, and another hamstring injury kept him off the field. Hillis played in just 10 games in 2011. His average rushing yards dropped to 0.8 yards a carry. The Browns declined to re-sign Hillis, and he moved to Kansas City, where an ankle sprain limited him to just 300 yards. He then spent 2 seasons with the Giants, and both seasons ended with concussions as Hillis fell out of the league, never quite reaching the highs of his 2010 season again. Greg Cook, 1969.
I thought he went to one of those other teams. I didn't. Maybe it was the Giants. One thing I like. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is what like. I personally don't care about anyone that played. If you like, the farthest back I'm willing to like go when in terms of like caring about like you playing in the NFL is probably the 80s. If you played in like the 70s or 60s, not to be disrespectful, but it's like the game has like changed so much over the years. It's almost like these players, not to call them irrelevant, because it's like I don't want to be disrespectful, but like they're just like I don't know, like would they it just like same thing with basketball, like I have a problem with giving credit to Bill Russell because like he played in an era where like there were only 9 teams in the league, and a lot of like it was just a different game back then. He was just I don't know, it was just a different game. It was easier. I feel like it was just easier to dominate. Like there wasn't nobody like crossing nobody over, or, like doing like crazy behind back pass. Like it's just a different game. So forgive me if I lose interest in this part, but I don't know.
Talented quarterback at the University of Cincinnati, Bengals owner Paul Brown saw enough playmaking ability from Cook to select him 5th overall in the 1969 draft. Cook immediately stepped into a starting role and led the Bengals to a 3-0 record, but injured his throwing shoulder in the 3rd victory. After sitting out for 3 weeks, Cook returned to his starting role despite dealing with the effects of an undiagnosed torn rotator cuff. Nonetheless, he led the league in yards per completion and was named AFL Rookie of the Year. Off-season surgery revealed that Cook's bicep had become detached, and 3 follow-up operations kept Cook away from the sport for almost 3 years. He briefly attempted a comeback in 1973, completing just 1 pass for 11 yards as a sad reminder of what could have been. According to former Bengals coach Bill Walsh, if not for the injuries, Cook could have very well been remembered or noted as the greatest quarterback of all time.
Probably
Robert
not.
Griffin III, 2012.
There is a better way to make money with Amazon than selling physical products. Introduce.
After being selected at number...
My guy, RG3. My dad's a Washington fan. Excuse me. And I'm not gonna hold you. When they got RG3, I was hyped for him because I'm like, bro, the Redskins have been terrible for a while now. So it's like, I remember he used to get so hyped about like Jason Campbell, which I thought he was nice too. I'm not gonna hold you. Jason Campbell was that boy to me. I thought he was very underrated. Who else was that quarterbacks? They coming off of having Jason Campbell to what, Rex Grossman to Donovan McNabb. Oh my God, they're just terrible. Oh man, I thought RG3 was that bull. It was like a breath of fresh air to see them actually be kind of relevant again. But you know.
Overall in the NFL draft, Robert Griffin III's entrance into the league immediately signaled trouble for defenses. Griffin was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week after his NFL debut as part of a successful rookie season. He finished the year with 3,200 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, along with 815 rushing yards and 7 rushing scores as he won Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. However, during a Week 14 clash against the Ravens, Griffin suffered an LCL sprain. In the Redskins' wildcard game against Seattle 4 weeks later, Griffin's knee
watching that game
suffered a torn LCL and ACL. Coming off the injury,
you could see
Griffin
his
was
knee
healthy
just
enough
give
to
out on
start
him.
the
That
2013
was crazy.
season opener, but his completion percentage fell. Interceptions rose, and the knee injury limited his effectiveness as a runner. He began the 2014 season as the team's starter once again, but a dislocated ankle in Week 2 kept him out until later in the year. Griffin struggled when he did see the field, throwing 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in 9 games. In the final season of his rookie deal in 2015, Griffin failed to see the field after suffering a concussion during the preseason, and his time in Washington soon came to an end. Griffin signed with the Browns in 2016, but an early season shoulder injury once again put his season on hold. He eventually signed with the Baltimore Ravens, where he remains as a backup quarterback, having thrown just 44 passes in the last 3 seasons combined. Larry Brown, 1995. A 12th round pick in the 1991
Never heard of him.
NFL Draft, expectations were fairly low for Brown, but he managed to carve out a spot as a depth cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys and totaled 7 interceptions in his first 4 seasons with the
Wait,
team.
what is he?
The
Oh, he's a
Cowboys
corner.
added
Tripping.
Hall of Famer
Why do I
Deion
think he was a running back? I'm
Sanders to their
tripping.
secondary
I'm
in
tripping.
1995. The move propelled Brown to the best year of his career. He intercepted 6 passes during the regular season and also made an interception in the NFC Championship game before his career-defining moment came in Super Bowl 30. Brown recorded 2 interceptions as the Cowboys won their 3rd Super Bowl in 4 seasons, and he was named Super Bowl MVP for his performance.
Okay.
Following the career year, Brown landed a big money $12.5 million contract from the Oakland Raiders at the age of 26. However, after missing just 1 game in 5 seasons with the Cowboys, he played 12 of 32 games in 2 seasons with the Raiders, recording 1 interception. Failing to live up to his massive deal, the Raiders soon waived Brown, who returned to Dallas in
But he still got that ring, though.
1998, played just 4 games in his final season of professional football.
Quick question. So, like, if you were, like, take him, for example, would you be mad, you've accomplished, like, the biggest goal that you can accomplish in football? Like, no matter what, you can't take that Super Bowl ring away from him. I don't know, like, would you rather be like a great, like, I feel like that question that comes up, like, oh, would you rather be a great player with, like, that's like a Hall of Fame, like, player or whatever, but not win a ring, or just be like a trash player on, like a Super Bowl caliber team, and he even won Super Bowl MVP? Like, that's, I don't know, like, I don't know. I wonder what his mindset is. It's like, dang, like, my career didn't go the way I thought it should have, but at the very least, like, he became a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP. Kind of like how what's the guy's name from the Seahawks that won in against the Broncos? Malcolm Smith or Malcolm Brown? I think it's Malcolm Smith or something like that. Like, I wonder how, like, he looks at his career. It's like, damn, like, I'm not like a Hall of Famer, but, like, at least I got a ring, like, type shit. Like, I don't know.
Icky Woods, 1988.
Oh, this guy.
After leading the NCAA
The icky
with
shuffle. See this man getting hyped about cold
1,658
cuts now.
rushing yards in 1987. Woods was a hot prospect in the 1988 NFL Draft, where he was selected number 31st overall by the Cincinnati Bengals. Woods immediately burst onto the scene as one of the league's top running backs with a league-high 5.3 yards per
He's still,
carry
he's a
as
one-year
rookie.
wonder. He still has
Woods
commercials
topped
out
1,000
today.
yards, and his 15 touchdowns gave him plenty of opportunities to show his signature icky shuffle celebration. The Bengals made it all the way to Super Bowl 23 that season, but lost 20-16 to the San Francisco 49ers, despite 79 rushing yards from Woods. It seemed as though Woods might have a long and successful career ahead of him, but a torn ACL limited him to just 2 games in 1989. Following the injury, Woods' average rush fell from 5 yards to about 3.5 yards per carry as he struggled to reclaim his starting role. An injury to his right knee during the 1991 preseason further limited him to 36 carries. With his effectiveness fading, Woods retired after the season. Tim Tebow, 2011. One of the most famous college football players of all time.
I'm sorry if I keep pausing it, but yeah, listen. I wasn't a Tebow fan when all this was happening, like, in his career. But looking back on it, I think they did. I think the league did Tim too. I think they did him dirty, bro. I think they did him dirty. I think that, of course, like, all right, so the Broncos situation, of course, you're gonna get rid of Tim Tebow for Peyton Manning. Like, if you're gonna get Peyton Manning, of course. But the fact that, like, the Jets never get, I don't know, like, and I can't say he didn't get other opportunities, because he did. He went to the Jets, he went to the Patriots, he went to the Eagles, he went to the, I don't count the Jags, bro. Like, whatever. But, like, the fact that he, like, carried a team to the divisional round in the playoffs and just never, like, get another, like, good opportunity again. Like, I feel like some team could have built around him on some real rap. Like, some team could have built around him, and he I don't know. I feel like that's one of, like, the biggest what ifs. Like, I don't know, because he was snapping in college. You can't say, like, oh yeah, he can't throw the football, because this man was snapping in college. Like, and I get, like, the NFL's a different game and everything, but come on, man. Like, I don't know. I think he should have got another shot. I think the league did him dirty.
Was unstoppable as he won both a national championship and a Heisman Trophy at Florida. However, Despite concerns about how his ability would translate to the next level, the Denver Broncos made him their first-round pick in 2010. Tebow spent his rookie season as a backup, a trend which continued in 2011 behind Kyle Orton. After a 1-3 start to the season, Tebow took over as the Broncos starter. His numbers were fairly pedestrian, with a completion percentage below 50% and a whopping 14 fumbles. But the Tebow-led Broncos won games. After going 7-4 as a starter, he propelled the Broncos to a dramatic walk-off
Over my squad.
against the Steelers in the wild card round. A 45
Over my squad.
The Patriots the next week ended the Broncos season, and also Tebow's time with the team. Peyton Manning joined the organization in the offseason, and Tebow was shipped off to the New York Jets, where he threw 8 passes and ran 32 times in 2012, his final year in the league. Tebow has since spent the last 4 seasons a minor league baseball player in the New York Mets organization. In 2019, he hit just a .163 at the AAA level, but did participate in the Mets spring training this year. Steve Berline, 1999. Unlike many of the players on this list who flamed out on their first contract, Berline had a long 14-year career in the NFL. Berline started 15 games in his first 2 seasons with the Los Angeles Raiders, until a contract dispute led to the Raiders keeping the perfectly healthy Berline inactive for every game of the 1990 season, before he was traded to Dallas. After playing well in limited action with the Cowboys, Berline signed a contract with the Cardinals. The 1993 season offered him his best starting opportunity, and Berline threw for 3,000 yards. However, when Buddy Ryan became Arizona's coach in 1994,
I was about to say, whoa, what happened?
Not
even him.
Desert. He moved to Jacksonville, where he spent 1 mediocre season before joining the Carolina Panthers. There, he started sparingly behind Kerry Collins before taking over as the team's starter in 1998. As a career journeyman with a losing record and only 1 season as a full starter, Berline took the league by storm in 1999. He threw for a league-high 4,436 yards, along with 36 touchdowns, as the 34-year-old Berline made his first Pro Bowl. The 2000 season was a steep drop-off, as Berline threw 19 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. He ended up spending 2 more seasons with the Denver Broncos before retiring in 2003. Michael Clayton, 2004. Clayton entered the NFL as an exciting wide receiver.
He was on. I remember him from
prospect
Baltimore.
from LSU, where Clayton had won a national championship and set a record for receiving touchdowns. That success prompted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to select Clayton number 15 overall in the 2004 NFL Draft. And the wideout put together a stellar rookie season. Clayton caught 80 passes for 1,193 yards and 7 touchdowns as the Buccaneers' leading receiver. Off-season knee surgery put a damper on his 2005 campaign, and Clayton never quite found his groove, even as the Buccaneers made the playoffs. He spent 4 more seasons in Tampa Bay, putting together a few 30-catch and 300-yard seasons. Clayton moved on to New York, where he caught 2 passes in 2 seasons with the New York Giants, as his career ended in 2011.
Maybe that's a different person. I could have sworn
Clayton spent 8 years in the NFL. Nearly 40% of his career catches and yardage came during his rookie season. Derek Anderson, 2007.
I thought he was on the Ravens. I guess not.
Despite being drafted by the Ravens, Anderson never played for Baltimore. Instead, his career peak came for the divisional rival Cleveland Browns, who kept Anderson on their roster for the 2005 season, although he didn't appear in a game. He became the Browns' backup in 2006 and started 3 games before becoming the starter in 2007. Anderson balled out, throwing for 3,787 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 19 interceptions, and also made the Pro Bowl.
Reach out for that.
Although he re-signed with the Browns in the offseason, Anderson faced competition from Brady Quinn, and injuries kept the more experienced Anderson from keeping his starting role in the 08 and 09 seasons, as he and Quinn traded opportunities. Anderson spent 9 more seasons in the NFL as a backup for Arizona, Carolina, and Buffalo, compiling a 4-11 record as a starter with those teams before retiring in 2019. Rex Grossman, 2006.
This guy.
Following a successful college career at Florida,
went to the Super Bowl though,
was the Chicago
and almost won that
Bears'
bitch too.
first-round selection in the 2003 NFL Draft. Although he sparsely saw the field early in his career, Grossman started just 7 games in his first 3 seasons, as he suffered ligament damage and a broken ankle kept him out until late in the 2005 season, where he led the Bears to the playoffs. It was during the 2006 season that Grossman's gun-slinging, risk-taking play style was fully on display. Grossman piloted the Bears to a 13-3 regular season, as he threw for 3,200 yards and 23 touchdowns, even if he did have 20 interceptions and 8 fumbles. While Grossman did lead the Bears all the way to Super Bowl 41, his turnover troubles showed there, as he threw a pair of interceptions and fumbled twice in the loss. Grossman played poorly in 2007, going 2-5 as Chicago's starter, while throwing more interceptions than touchdowns. He spent one more season in Chicago as a backup before moving on to Houston, then Washington. Grossman went 5-8 as the Redskins starter in 2011, tossing 20 interceptions compared to 16 touchdowns, and he never saw the field again. So, there you have it, the greatest NFL one-year wonders. Did we leave anybody off of this list? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like.
Huh? Dang. It's crazy. This man, Rex Grossman. Oh my God. Yeah, man. Well, those are the NFL's biggest one-year wonders. What you guys think about it, man? What you guys who's your biggest one-year wonder? Let me know in the comments, man. I'm gone.